Yeah. Okay. I think we got the right person, viewers, today to talk about this topic about pandemic push. Especially, we have gone through almost 2 years. Wow, come to think of it, it's almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Of the economic impact on our SME, especially the small medium businesses, due to the pandemic. I think the retail industry, especially, is hitting. All kind of facing all kind of problems. Recently, the Company Commission of Malaysia mentioned close to 50,000 SME, have closed down. I think the number could be bigger if we consider all the small businesses. So I'm going to kick off the session by slightly introducing Sam to all of you, if just in case you need some info for Sam. I'm sure you can Google him, but he's from Beyond Infinity Consultancy, and of course has e-commerce experience for more than 10 years. He's a consultant in enabling brands and businesses across Southeast Asia. If you actually go through YouTube, sometimes you do bump into his ads from Lazada, because he was the recipient of the Lazada Top Category Awards for the e-commerce business. I think for his wonderful job in pushing offline businesses to online. So I'm going to kickstart with the first question, which is, I think everyone is like, trying to summarize the condition that we are in now. So how have the retail sectors, have been impacted, and how have they changed as a result? We would love to, listen to you in terms of how do you summarize this condition now when it comes to retail sectors?
Hmm. I think today we have quite a fair bit of audience, and everyone who is tuning in right now, feel free to type out. So I would like to know if our attendees here today, are they from the retail sector? Are you selling a product or services on a first-hand basis, on a meet-to-meet basis? Do shout out in the chat. Yeah, I would love to get to know you guys, and ladies as well, of course. So Kiman, so your question is, how have retail sectors been impacted? Okay.
From your
Um,
from your own, summary.
Okay, so in my own observation, let's put it into perspective.
Yeah.
Malaysia retail sectors have gone through all sorts: MCO, CMCO, EMCO, and now FMCO. Okay, the alphabets keep adding up.
True.
Yeah. Now we are in 4.0 MCO,
Mhm.
and I would say retail sectors are severely impacted. How severe? So even in recent reports, retail have dropped about 16%. So the question is, we all know retail sectors have been impacted. The question is, how have they changed? So I would like to bring everyone's attention to two categories here. We look into the retailers, how do they change? And we look into customers. For retailers, I think many have tried to leverage into alternative channels simply because um, during EMCO and MCO, this can open, that cannot be open. We keep having different SOPs to adapt to. So the alternative channels that retailers have reached out could be as simple as a simple website,
Yeah.
maybe sharing on Facebook, Instagram, or even latch on to e-commerce marketplaces such as Lazada and Shopee. However, to the businesses, this is just an additional pipeline of revenue when retail channels are uncertain. So while many people are still figuring out how to actually navigate through these channels, I have actually been contracted to do private consultation with brands to actually craft out their e-commerce DNA. So then they will be more effective and waste less time to utilize these online channels. So I have to say, I have met many business owners, especially in the retail sectors,
Yeah.
trying to figure out, hey, actually Instagram how to use, hey, actually Facebook how to use, so we didn't have much time during the pandemic. Now, what changed for the customers? I think much have changed in, at least in the city point of view. So in the city point of view, people have known that, okay, so retailers, to find things on the retail side is very difficult. Yeah, maybe because my favorite store is closed. We don't know whether they were able to open or they're still continuing. So what do I do next? So as a customer, I start looking online. So for the general customers, their daily essentials or either their wants, their needs, they start to quickly switch to online. So I think those that have actually tried to adapt into online, these retailers are still surviving. And as mentioned just now, the 50,000 in terms, that was only just recent numbers. We have not included last year. There were more than how many tens of thousands that were being laid off in the first wave of pandemic.
Yeah, thank you on that. Now, adding on to what you mentioned about all this, trend of moving towards online businesses and all that. At one time, I think you see, like, I think maybe during CMCO, when we are slowly recovering last year, a lot of homemakers, home businesses start to boom because they realize that because they got retrenched, most of them got retrenched and maybe they lose their job. So they realize that maybe they could start a home business and, own their own, selling their, whatever they can do from home. So what do you think about this? Like the sudden boom of all these home business owners? Is it
Okay,
good, or is it like contradicting to what we see in the SME environment where people are closing down, but at the same time, a lot of people are selling things online? And what's your view on this?
Okay, so Kiman, have you tried selling something online?
Yes, it's very hard.
What have you tried selling before?
I was trying to sell but because I was in the education line, so I was trying to sell trading packages and all that. So
training packages.
yeah.
Okay, so we're in a very similar line because in my line, other than consultation, we also do training as well.
Yeah.
I have to say, training is it's not an easy product to sell because it's intangible. Okay, but I think it's good that we're speaking to a moderator who have tried selling.
Yeah.
Okay, so personally, I've came across many people who have started home-based business. Now, the reason for being home-based is, I think during this pandemic, it has made many of us homebound. Even I am homebound, right?
Yeah.
I have to convert my room into an office. That's why right now we're having this conversation. Yeah, but I have to applaud. What came out positive is that despite people who have been laid off, people who found opportunity, or people who had to, find additional income for their family, they started home business. They could be selling as easy as, I've seen kids selling Pokemon cards. All right, I've seen adults selling cakes. I've seen people who I never knew they knew how to bake. Okay, to sell what they can do at home. They tell them it's like my grandma's recipe. I say, in my entire life, I know you never share with me your grandma recipe, okay? Yeah, but we generally see a very steady increase of these people starting their store, either on Facebook, TikTok, or either even Instagram, or even social media, and also putting onto e-commerce. I can share with you as well. Very recently, the Malaysian Chinese, we celebrated Dumpling Festival. I'm not sure if everyone likes dumpling here, but I personally do like it. I personally do like it. And even then, my partner and I, we patronize on food businesses who are operating from home. So I think this home business will continue to grow. We have seen many different home businesses. So I will take this dumpling festival as my recent experience. So we were browsing on Instagram looking for dumpling, and then we found this particular seller who posted about dumplings. And to be very frank, I have to say, all their postings on Instagram were very authentic. So they were showing how they did it. This was the grandma's recipe. Even the pictures and descriptions, let me just say it. When you see, you really want to buy it, lah. Yeah. So I have to applaud all these home business owners doing their best efforts in doing this, and I hope that it will continuously grow. Long ago, we have many all these big brands that started from their home garage. Who knows? Home business is actually the way to go. So I'm not sure. Are all attendees here home-based business, SMEs, MNC? Can you just guys do me a shout out? What do you guys do actually?
Do you sell anything?
They sell anything?
Yeah. Can they just type? Yeah. I mean, just in the chat
feel
box.
Feel free to type in the chat, but please don't tell me you sell living stocks or anything illegal. Please do not type that into this chat. Okay, everything is recorded. Okay. Yeah, but Kiman, so when we talk about these home business owners, how exactly are they really helping out? I think number one, they are really helping with the economy because they are doing with what they can. If back then, can you imagine, like say 15 years ago?
Yeah.
I'm not sure our age gap lah, but
Yeah.
let's assume 15 years ago
Yeah.
lah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's 15 years ago,
Yeah.
when there was no internet, when there was no e-commerce, when there was no social media. Can you imagine if you want to start a business, say you want to start a food-based business, you need to book out warung somewhere, you need to sell goreng pisang somewhere, you need to apply license. This cannot be done so easily during this period. Yeah. So I'm glad that our home-based business owners, they know how to leverage on online to actually reach out to more customers, which is where the bulk of traffic is right now. The question is, how are they adapting and learning all these skills right now to make sure that their effort is not wasting time? Because let's not forget, not you and I and everyone here is as digital savvy as everyone else. There are people in the category of above 40s who may not know how to operate social media. I've seen the recent news about people helping out all these food stalls selling yao zha guai to take put up on social media to help, right? I really feel for them, and I hope this positivity will continue to grow.
As home business owners, they grow, and then with the sudden increase of gig economy trend as well among Malaysian, you get people as young as, like you said, in primary school selling cards, or even they do some freelancing job. How does this actually impact consumer behavior? Because now we get so many choices. As a consumer, we will be comparing a lot. And then how do you think, what do you think would be the impact on the consumer behavior in terms of the choices that we are given, with all the things that, being thrown at us now, with so many, like you said, dumping just now? You could have, like, last time maybe you only know 3, now like 10 types of, So how does it impact consumer behavior in general?
Okay, so I'm not sure about audience here tonight, but I would like to admit I'm a person who orders food delivery a lot. I think in MCO, if you were to check my Grab account, my Food Panda account, they are on the high. Every month when my credit card statement comes, is really high. But Kiman, what about you? Do you order such food delivery services?
Occasionally, when I have no idea, in terms of what to cook, or what to have at home.
Oh, so you cook?
Yeah, I love to cook.
Okay, Kiman, are you married?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm very lucky for you. Okay. So I think people who lack of experience in cooking, and always in hunt for time, someone like me will actually depend a lot on this gig economy. And by what I mean gig economy, means I rely a lot on food riders. So tonight, for this example, I will use food rider. So like Iman, you mentioned, consumer behavior will keep evolving. True. Last time we never had all this gig economy to cater to this demand. And let's admit, it's a very thankful period that right now gig economy is also sort of like a side business for people to sustain themselves. And so the easiest example, food delivery. So let's take food delivery as this example. So last time, if let's say we want to tapao food, or that means we want to take away food. So as a consumer like me, I will just appear in Restaurant Kiman, and Restaurant Kiman prepared his fried rice. I just collect and I drive home. How the food ended up in my car, or when it ends up on my table, it's my fault. I am the liability. However, today, because I cannot go to Kiman's restaurant to eat his famous chao fan fried rice, I had to order from a food delivery platform. So I ordered ready. Now, Kiman will still prepare his signature fried rice. However, this comes the gig economy. So the food rider will come to Kiman's restaurant, pick up, and then deliver to me. Now, what happens in between that delivery period? Either the rice fumbled down, the rice became cold. All this impacts me as a consumer behavior. Now, who would I blame? I would very likely blame the food delivery person if my food is being scrambled around. I could also blame Kiman's restaurant for not being adapting to this food delivery platform. I mean, come on.
Packaging.
Yes, packaging has actually changed so much since gig economy have been introduced. So when we talk about how impacting this gig economy is, let's look into customer experience. So it doesn't matter what sort of product that you're selling out there. I would say maybe you are food, you are training, or either even you are an actual product. So say, for example, you're a phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
How this gig economy will make people change is their expectation when whatever they ordered arrived to them and how it has been delivered.
Mm. Mm.
I think one of the easiest example in terms of food was sushi.
Yeah.
In the early pandemic period, I think March last year, I think sushi restaurants were struggling a lot
Mm.
to adapt to this gig economy because many people were ordering their favorite sushi online,
Mm.
but there was no such packaging at that point of time to be able to cater to, people have to drive long way fast,
True.
and deliver on time.
True.
So by the time your sushi comes, you okay, so you ordered sushi, right? And when it arrives to you, it becomes rojak.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True.
So I think that customer experience then have been increased. So we saw a lot of customers. They were actually very vocal. They took this up complaint into social media,
Mm.
and I've seen positive response from all these restaurants outside there. Kudos to you guys for actually taking the challenge to change the packaging.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously after that we saw much improvements that whatever you ordered appeared as it was ordered.
Mm.
So this is just a food example. Now, some of you, I believe, could be selling products. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just say, so Johan, right? Johan or
Media
Johan?
services. Yeah. Johan.
Yeah. Johan, yeah. So Johan sell media services. My parents sell fruits and vegetables, but many friends now sell those homemade food. Yeah. Thank you very much for bringing this up, Johan. Fantastic. So fruits and vegetables, that's the second one that I want to target. So in my area right now during MCO, I only have two outlets for groceries. Yeah, it's either a Jaya Grocer or a Pasar. Okay, so the problem is if let us say there is a COVID case, yeah, touch wood, I touch everything, okay, right? In any of this, then it's very difficult for a customer to
True.
go and shop. I mean, Kiman, would you be very concerned?
Yeah. I will. I will.
Yeah, you will, right? Probably you will just feed on Maggie Mee for the whole week, right? And let's not go out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or get someone to buy for me.
Correct. So that's a very right point to say, yeah. So how this gig economy came about is also there are now food delivery riders who are willing to help you go pick up your groceries.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And even better, some of them who are I have to applaud these people. They are very accommodating. So if you have ever been to a pasar pagi, okay, you must understand there's a lot of stalls. So Malcolm have one store, Johan will have store. So let's put Johan selling fruits and vegetables lah. Huh? Kiman you sell meat lah, okay, and
Okay.
then Malcolm is selling other staple food. Okay, now say for example me as a consumer, yeah, the pasar is just nearby. I would like to pay a one-time fee, but I hope that my food delivery rider can go to Kiman's store, Johan's store, and also Malcolm's store to pick up. Not every food delivery rider is willing to do that.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, there are those who are able to do it, and they are the ones who get bulk of the jobs. They are the ones who have gotten praise on social media, and many people are very much more willing to engage them.
Yeah. True.
So this gig economy at the end of the day is still like how a normal business owner runs their own business.
Mm.
At the end of the day is what does your customer demand and how are you meeting those demands?
Agree. So I mean, we know that whether it's home business or gig economy or even SME, we need to cope with the changing, the changes in the economy, and we see a lot of business being trying their best to innovate, trying their best to change, and I would love to listen to you in terms of how you actually turn your offline business, your family business to be exact, into online. Because I think you have done tremendously well in this sense, and maybe you can share a bit of tips on how you actually change your family business into online, and how things could have been changed, or regulation in terms of practices that things that we need to change in order to cope with the changing time. Yeah.
Sure. Well, these are real life examples.
Yeah.
I will share with you more relevant examples to present times. So I believe many people are from the offline business as well. So let's take Johan's
Yeah.
parents' business for example, selling fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
In the early pandemic, we have met, this sort of vendors who doesn't know how to exactly sell, because they are supposed to just, sell on a normal offline basis, or either they were planters and growers. So what happened was, they adopted a new way of selling, which is they engage someone to help them to upload their products into online services, so that they will be able to reach out to more people. So when they get the bulk of the orders, then they are able to process all this and pack it out and ship it out. Yeah. So I think first thing first is, let's acknowledge that when offline channels are unavailable, let's go online channels. Yeah. But however, when offline channels open as well, please don't close your online channels. Okay. Because at the end of the day, these two goes in tandem. Okay, I think secondly, I've met many clients who have also asked me, Sam, what is the fastest way, the best platform, the easiest one to sell, I want to make millions. Okay, I'm going to share the truth with everyone, okay? Every platform has their pros and cons, okay? I won't say one size fit all.
Yeah.
But let's evaluate it on a very logical basis. During this time, we all know offline traffic is very difficult. Okay, the ones who are making it in offline would very likely be pharmaceuticals or essential services such as grocery stores. Okay, so where are the bulk of customers? So they will very likely be an online platform. So us as individual owners, let's explore what are the online platforms available right now. Where do they go to? So say for example, I give my dumpling example again lah. Okay. So in dumpling example was very funny because I didn't find a lot of these sellers on Facebook. Okay, I realize in my scope of work when I'm also trying to understand as well is that many bulk of people actually go to Instagram to look for food. And simply because Instagram helps to promote a lot of food businesses out there. And people take amazing pictures about food. So sometimes at night, when I have to browse Instagram and I get hungry, that's where I start looking for food business. Just so you know, most Malaysians will browse Instagram at night to look for food. Anyway, yeah. Oh, hi Nigel. Okay, so Nigel just popped in and said, I'm in F&B. I sell Chinese food and frozen meat products. Restaurant side of things is currently depending on takeout orders. Many options to pick now with many home online business. Fantastic, yeah. So in your business is very diverse because you sell ready hot food and at the same time you sell frozen meat. Since last year, we also realized that there were a lot of businesses who are in F&B. They started to venture into frozen. So then it's sort of like a product that people can buy, go home and cook. Make it less hassle. Yeah. So the second lesson that I want to share with everyone is that identify the right channels. There's no really one size fit all. It only takes 1 or 2 days for you to do proper research, and I think you owe it to yourself to do it. Because if you were to keep thinking, I want to try Facebook as well, I want to try this, you have to imagine, how much resources you have. So this comes to our third point. How much resources do you have? For the dumpling story that I'm sharing with you, it's only a mother and daughter. Yeah. So which is very perfectly well, I understand why they only focus on one single platform.
Yeah.
Okay. And they try to champion it in their platform. Yeah. However, like I said, if some of you in your SMEs or home-based business, if you have more than a few more people, feel free to explore different channels, and that gave you even faster data. Because once you have tested out, like say Instagram, Facebook, and Lazada and Shopee, and then you realize, oh, Lazada and Shopee has much faster yield. So say for example, Nigel, yeah. So Nigel sells frozen meat products, which are currently available in, say for example, Lazada platform. Yeah. As compared to his Facebook, he realized that Facebook, I need to constantly blast a little bit of ads. I need to boost my posts. My friends not willing to share my posts. Terrible friends I have. I should unfriend them. Yeah. But then Lazada suddenly, every day got 1-2 orders, slowly then become 10 orders, then become $30. Then this will tell you immediately where you need to focus your resources on. Yeah. So number one, I think it's very important for you to do that due diligence or research. Number two, find out where the traffic is. Third, understand where your resources are.
Talking about platform, in terms of selling and marketing and all that. There's also one area in the platform that I think highly impact the customer choice or consumer choice, especially the payment part, right? Because last time we depend on cash and COD, they call it cash on delivery, and what we have seen so far for the past year, due to the rapid digitization of payment, or you can see like people prefer all this e-wallet and all that. So what is your view on that, and also what is your tips in future proofing this kind of business transaction?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just to share with everyone a very funny
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
My wallet is running out of cash. Okay. It's so funny that one day that I had to pay for a parking ticket in a building that requires cash. I was so shocked that I ran out of 1 ringgit notes. I
Yeah.
totally didn't have much cash in my wallet because that's how long I've been starting to use digital payments. But that alone, that's my behavior. I fully support in terms of digital payment. But from a business point of view, and also how we advise our clients is to adopt digital payments. Two things. I think this pandemic has taught us that we need to have less interaction touching because
Spread.
there's a spread. Yeah, it can spread. Yeah. So people are a little bit more cautious, a little bit more health conscious. At least I observe this in the city. Yeah. However, in rural areas, let's be honest, not many people are still adopting this digital payment yet. Yeah, it's either customers have adopted, but businesses haven't figured out yet. But in the cities, we are pretty fast. Okay. So that's one. Secondly, I think moving forward, when cash is very tight, I think digital payments really help because we want to lock on our customers. So say, for example, in our training industry, like Iman as well. So very, very similarly, we will want to offer digital payments so that our clients can immediately make payment.
True.
Rather than our clients would to tell us that, maybe next month, we will pay you and whatnot. Yeah. However, how digital payments really help in the retail sector, I think this is fascinating. The checkout time is faster.
True.
So imagine you have Visa PayWave. Imagine you have our current one, right? You have GrabPay and all sorts of pay that's available out there. QR pays are very fast. So this actually helps the retail to process your payment faster. It's much more secure, less hanky-panky because all these digital payment providers do reconciliation, and also they have security verified. So between seller and buyer, we feel safer. So how does this actually impact in terms of home business owners, who are at home right now? So COD is not something that we have ruled out completely. My parents prefer COD. Okay, because they want to see the product before they want to make the payment. And let's not forget, we cannot always think about just our generation. And when I say our generation, means we're the younger generation, okay. Let's admit that there are also the elderly generations, let's just say above 40, above 50, who may not be so easily using digital payments yet. However, they are the ones who have the spending power.
True.
So regardless of what sort of digital payments that you have, I think the easiest one to adopt would be credit cards. Then later on would be the QR codes, your touch and go, your GrabPay and whatnot. I think any home business owners, your number one problem will be collecting money. Because if you were to give someone, say for example, your Maybank to you, which previously I used to have, I find it truly a hassle. So I think that would sort of like an extra one step for me to make purchase, which is also an extra one step for people who do not want to purchase. So consumers now, they want it fast. So say for example, if this is an old Huawei phone, but imagine this is a brand new Huawei phone. Okay, I want it now. Okay, and then you tell me, please do a banking. Wow, I need to type in your bank account. I need to check the amount. Is it correct? That's quite a big no-no for me. However, if I just click on the link, scan, verify, done, OTP, done, it's so much more easier. So it's a seamless process.
So I mean, you believe that with this kind of digitalization in terms of payment, do you think that it will spur people to spend more because it's too easy? Like I can just spend 1,000 on this Lazada or whatever because it's so easy. Would that affect that as well?
all the attendees out here, whoever who have a Lazada or Shopee store, please remember to send a link to Kiman. Okay, he's a gold mine. He just said
No,
he's
I
willing
mean,
to spend 1,000 ringgit.
no, I mean because the convenience sometimes make you feel like you want to spend because last time you have to check your wallet. Okay, I only have 100 ringgit, so I couldn't spend. Now it's like we have all the option to pay later and whatnot. I think it could affect the way you spend as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is true, and I like the fact that you brought up this pay later.
Yeah.
So the reason why pay later is, of course, number one, our economy is come to this extent. Yeah. And obviously we give more allowances for people to spend. So say for example it's 3,000 ringgit. Every
Yeah.
month I pay 1,000. It's affordable. But if one shot I want to pay 3,000,
Yeah.
it's kind of a bit tight. Yeah. So I think this option pay later helps to boost consumption behavior. But coming back to the question, whether do this encourage people to
spend more.
spend more? Yes. Everyone will definitely spend. However, to keep track of your spending is a personality, it's an attitude. Yeah. For example, myself, if I were to spend, I keep track of my spending. So per month, I have X amount of spend. I know how much I spend.
Yeah.
But undeniably, there are more and more people who are spending. So I'll say, it's good to keep track of your spending.
So is this kind of like the new norm of shopping experience going to disrupt the retail industry in the long run? Like you said, even though they are complementing each other, do you think it will really affect the brick and mortar kind of business in the long run in the future? Maybe we don't need them anymore.
So this question has been asked to me like 10 years ago as well. And I think today it still stands still. It is still a question that many of us are still figuring out. But let's look at, where China is and where US currently is also trying to portray, is that there is no one or either. Either or. It's always both. Yeah. Ultimately, it works well because our consumers are always thinking, I want to feel, I want to touch. But what if I can feel and touch that? That's fine. Or, in an offline basis, I found a product, but they don't give me much information. So maybe online give me more info. Or likewise, in online, I found this product, but, offline, the salesperson gave me a much more personal touch, more technical specifications, and I'm satisfied about it. I'm willing to pay my money. Yeah. So I think moving forward, the trend of purchase is how offline can deliver such a fast speed like online.
Yeah.
Okay. So traditionally in offline business, you purchase something, it's on the spot. Yeah. You can take and go. But what if right now in online, they are also trying to close the gap that you purchase something and you can get it delivered in the next 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So can offer kit. And at the same time, providing the same level of service as online do. For example, in online, everything is talk about speed, campaigns. How do you cater to your customers? How do you make sure your customers can see all the features of your product? But in the offline, I have to say, 5 out of 10 retailers that we go there, usually when you ask, only will they explain, and then you have to ask more, and then they only explain more. But in the online, because we lack of this personal assistant, so the listing have to come to be very comprehensive to the point whereby I hope I don't need to ask you any questions that you can buy. So let's take these 2 learning points and move forward in the retail industry.
Yeah, I really agree on that, and really like your view about the description part, because when you sell online, you have to make sure everything is there so that you build that trust, or else people will not really trust you. I remember those days when we were buying or selling things on that long forum and all that. You have to make sure all the details are there so that people will believe that you're selling it. So we're kind of losing your visual, Sam, but I think it's okay because we can still hear you. This is like the final 2 questions already. This question would be: is the future more on e-home businesses, big e-retailers, e-marketplaces, or a mix? What's your take on this? Like, you think like more will be running businesses from home, or all these big e-retailers will be eating up all the smaller retailers? What do you think?
Okay,
this is just a general view. There's no right or wrong. I'm sure.
Sure. I believe in an ecosystem. And ecosystems comes with big fishes and also small fishes and also medium fishes lah. But how this ecosystem essentially works is there will always be home business owners. who will then evolve in bigger retailers.
Yeah.
There'll always be continuously marketplaces. We will never know which marketplace will forever stand strong. However, based on my previous experiences, I have platforms, but
Yeah.
so current one standing in Southeast Asia still remain until today, and they have like an 8 to 9 years track record history.
Yeah.
Again, nobody can guarantee. So my personal view on Take is this: if you're in a home business owner right now, no need to be worried when you become a big e-tailer, or either when you are a big e-tailer, whereby other people will be taking over your businesses. I think what's more important is let's focus on our customers. How can we and be better? Favorite sharing to this is nowadays, even you may be a big brand, we have also seen independent brands coming up.
True.
Yeah, it's not about how big you are; it's about how fast you are. And the advantage of being a home business owner and SME is that we are very fast and versatile because we are able to adapt so.
Yeah. True.
It's very evident during our pandemic period. Me and SME client, our really very basic and brand. Them have to go through bureaucracy, red tapes, SOP, audit, and whatnot before they can make a big change. Now,
True.
obviously, bigger brands have resources, but the most important is what's the point of having if you're not going to act fast enough?
Exactly.
And let's admit, this is a lot about being speed of execution. If suddenly there's a wave or something, and business owners are able to react very quickly, that's fantastic. Yeah. So I think it's not about who's being big, who's being small, but who's being fast.
That's a very good point there. So my last question, just in case any one of you would like to ask question, feel free to type in the chat, because so far I think all of you are pretty quiet. Maybe you're amazed with Sam, the
I
charm,
hope.
or maybe you are still deciding what to ask. You feel free to ask so that we can pose the question to Sam. So this would be probably the last question to you.
Sure.
What would be your advice to retail business owners in sustaining their business at during this tough period? Like I'm sure you have shared some just now, but maybe this is like the ultimate advice that you would give to everyone
Wow.
who wants,
Okay.
who wants to go through this tough period. Yeah.
Okay. So I do understand the struggles of retail business. I do understand many of us here. Yeah. We are actually trying to find ways. I would think that it's important for us to be persistent. Yeah, let's all be patient and persistent. Keep doing what we know how to do, but more importantly, let's not have fixed way. So, say for example, this is how we have been doing it for the past 10 years. Why must I do it this way? Okay. To share with you, in one of the retail business that we actually help to handle, it's not easy to have someone above you, say if you are like a fifth generation business and you have many generations to convince, right? So if you belong into this sort of business, and right now it's all about digital, I do understand some generations may not necessarily understand
True.
what you're trying to do. Okay. So I think most importantly is start producing results. So before justifying anything, start producing results, and your results will justify. So that's number one.
Yeah.
For all those people who suffer a little bit of a generation. Okay. Secondly, I think let's not go through fixed ways. Yeah. Fixed ways meaning that right now you see the trend of people all are doing this sort of e-commerce strategy and whatnot. But then inside you know your customers are not like that. They may not necessarily resonate.
Yeah.
So not to worry, always design something that's meant for your customers.
Yeah.
It's not about perfecting it. Yeah. It's not about being so anal that you must have the best picture, the best video, but to be something that is very identifiable for your consumers. For example, I speak again of my dumpling experience. Okay, not because I'm promoting any of them, but I speak to you of this dumpling experience. So for example, most people would do a lot of artwork on the dumpling, take very nice pictures, very authentic. So this is what this dumpling person has did. However, what's more interesting is she actually introduced who is the person who is making the dumpling and also Instagram the dumpling process.
Yes.
Yeah. Why do I say so? For customers like me, I tend to look for authenticity, meaning I want to know what is the ingredient being put in. This is not something that was being bought in probably a supermarket and then they resell it.
Repackaged.
Yeah. I wanted to know who is the person. I wanted to know who is the ingredients. So they cater for this customer and they manage to satisfy me because they shown this process in their Instagram.
Mm.
Yeah. So not necessarily everybody's strategy is always the same manner. More importantly is identify your audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do they need? What do they require? You cater to them based on what you can first. Then later only you figure out how to be perfect.
Yeah. 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 That's really, nicely put. Where, I mean, you really need to know your target and try not to just simply adopt whatever other people's are doing just because people are doing it, and then you want to jump into that.
Correct.
Yeah, true. Very, very true. Now, any question from the floor, by the way, before we let Sam go?
Yeah, no worries. So let me just give it a shout out. So we have Nigel, we have Kima, we have Johan, we have Malcolm, we have Doreen, Lau Hui Zhen, Jack, James, Kimberlyn, Leslie, Nicholas, Ong
Nicholas.
Ji Yuan, Teh Quang Tia, Wan, Wei Liang, and Winnie Chai and Yen Ling. So I'm addressing to all of you. If any of you have any questions, make sure to fully use this time. I mean, this is something that I appreciate that Startup Grind Malaysia to invite
True.
me here. And it's a night session where, we all are a bit more dressed
Chilling,
down, less formal, we're chilling. Feel
yeah.
free to ask me questions. If you face, similar e-commerce problems or online problems that you're currently facing, shout out in the chat,
Yeah, you guys better ask now, because usually Sam charged for this consultation fee. Now he's doing it for free, right? Better ask some question to him now.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
it's not to say for free, but I'm happy
Yeah.
to do this as a favor to our friend Malcolm here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Johan asked, should I do promo for every 1 Jan, 2 Feb, 3rd March? Perfect question. Okay, so what in e-commerce they have done was, last time we used to know 11/11. Yeah, it was the big thing in the entire Asia market, and it still is today. It still is. But during pandemic, what happened was they also introduced a lot of micro campaigns for e-commerce. Now, primarily, these dates is just to let people a reason to spend.
True.
Okay, it's like, for example, today you hit a jackpot and you just wanted to spend money. So today is just one. It just sounds good. So they have some campaign. So in answering Johan, so depending on which platform you're selling. Could it be social media or e-commerce? Yeah. But let's put it this way, e-commerce has a very large impact on consumer behavior now. So say, for example, if marketplaces are doing like a 7/7 promo, 8-day promo, it does have a trickle effect towards people going more towards online and searching more. Yeah. So you have to think of from that behavior. So if there's something that, say, you're doing like in social media, why not? It's just a reason to promote anyway. Yeah. But more importantly, don't just sell for the sake of selling, but try to make use of this promo date to actually tell people why they should buy from you. Yeah. Instead of just giving a discount. Okay, I hope that answers. So Nigel, so not a question, but thank you for pointing out the importance of speed of execution. It was something that I wasn't aware of that got me thinking on the importance of closing the gap. Oh, you're most welcome, Nigel. In fact, the reason why I really wanted to bring up this point in this session is because I've met a lot of Malaysian businesses, and also, in our entrepreneur communities, I'm always monitoring and seeing what people are trying to ask. And I came to realize that, a lot of people is trying to think about what is the perfect solution, what's the perfect artwork, what's the perfect strategy, what's the perfect campaign. Now, by the time they figure out what is perfect, the golden opportunity of time have passed.
True.
So I hope that this would serve to be a reminder, because I came and I made that mistake before. So this is from a very personal account view. So which is why I think it's whole true that action speaks louder than, whatever it is. So Ong Ji Yuan, okay, so as a student, what kind of advice would you give me if I were to go into the business line? Anything I should prepare? Oh, okay, wonderful. Ji Yuan, can you share with us a little bit what student are you first? Are you a medical student, a marketing student? Tell me what student are you first, then I'll answer that question.
While waiting for that, there's a question from the floor. Someone asked, if someone want to start selling but they don't have product, how can they go about with this without product?
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so people who doesn't have product, yeah. So I've also met, friends and businesses who are in this line.
Yeah.
Very funnily, whenever they tell me they have no product to sell, I say it's impossible. You always will have a product to sell. Why?
Mm.
Number one, you have all items that you can sell. Number two, you have hobby and interest that you want to sell.
Mm.
Number three, if you have nothing completely to sell, start finding around your community.
Mm.
Yeah. And why do I say community is important? Regardless of where you stay, there will always be community. People will be trying to find selling their own home items, home baked items, cookies, or whichever it is. You will be able to find it.
Mm.
Yeah. And how you sharpen this skill is continuously to help this community to sell through you. Yeah. So there's always opportunities. Okay. So Jian answered. Ooh, accounting and finances student. Fantastic. Okay. So this is coming from me who have graduated. Okay, I don't want to review.
You don't review your age.
I don't want to review my age. Already, you know that I'm in e-commerce industry for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
So that will tell you how long I've been working.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I was working with MNCs anyway. Okay, so my take is this. There is no education enough to prepare you for business line.
True.
But I personally started working since I was 9 years old. We sell things. And at the age of 15 years old, I also sell things. And I was officially employed when I was 16 years old. I learned most about business when I'm working. And I realized that I learn even more when someone is willing to teach me. So say, for example, if you are in business, regardless any business, F&B, training, if you are able to find a mentor, someone who is close to you, willing to share to you, handhold you the journey, and tell you their mistakes. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the most valuable experience that helped me to survive in the business line is someone who is willing to tell me the mistakes that they have made. Because that helps me to avoid. So I'm glad, Jian, you're in accounting and finance. That's very good because I hope that skill set will help you to keep your accounts in check. Okay, not to simply spend money. Okay, and at the same time, if you any business line that you're ready to go in, I hope you're able to find someone who's willing to teach you. And share with you their real life experiences. Because education is theory, practical is something different. Wan Ning.
The question from Wan Ning and Johan, I think you can combine because it's quite
relevant.
Okay. Because it's talking about Facebook Live and live streaming, the product selling and all that. But the one by Johan is about influencer driven. So, but the trend, using all this live selling and all that. What's your take?
Okay, so for the benefit of everyone, so Wan Ning mentioned, many people are selling through Facebook Live. What's your view on this? Okay, so to answer to Wan Ning first, okay, my view on this is Facebook Live is a tool. Okay, at the end of the day, how you use the tool is up to you. Now, some tools can be extremely annoying. So, say for example, all these notifications that pops up on your phone all the time, all these apps they are just a tool. To them, it's called advertising. However, how they use these tools can be so annoying that I just want to switch it off. Similarly, Facebook Live. In the early pandemic, I've seen so many Facebook Live that I'm so sick of it, simply because people were just doing live for the sake of doing live. Doing live for the sake of trying to get traffic. But what's the point of doing live without a purpose? So if you are in business, especially you're selling something, look into the angle of how your live can actually help people. How your live, as in how your Facebook Live can actually help to solve a particular problem. So similarly, like right now we're having this live session. Why? Because we're engaging attendees like you who is willing to learn. So these live sessions made it more valuable. But if I'm going on and on rambling about my dumpling experience, everyone's going to leave this room.
True.
Okay? True. So Johan, so I think this will be our final question. So in China, influencer-driven live stream selling is already the norm. How much longer do you think before this becomes a norm in Malaysia or Southeast Asia? Okay, Johan, to answer your question, influencer-driven live stream is already in Southeast Asia. In Malaysia, you would have already seen many brands and SMEs engage. Even micro influencers are already engaged. Now, already back to the same question is, how do all this live stream really help?
Yep.
Yeah, and more particularly in live stream. So in one of our live stream courses as well, we also teach people how to utilize the live stream to
Yeah.
be more effective. Rather than being so salesy, how easy can you continue to engage with your audience
True.
so that your audience will continue to watch? Now,
Yeah.
in live, right, more importantly is the audience willing to engage with you, you're creating a relationship as compared to you're just watching a YouTube video.
Yeah.
So I think that's the beauty of live stream.
True.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, with that live stream, you need to ask yourself, how can I use these tools to engage my audience?
True.
Yeah, what do they want to hear? What are the pain points they want to solve? Well, what would be the jokes they would like to, I can relate with them? Say, for example, life doesn't need to be so serious, lah.
Yeah. But I do encounter some live stream that actually pressure you to buy, like, they push you, like, you buy now, and then if you don't buy, like, they will yell at you, like, kind of aggressive. But one last question to you from the chat is the
sure.
I'm not sure whether you can answer this, but it says like what kind of product to be sold on Lazada and Shopee?
Ooh. Who asked this question?
I don't know. No, it says someone else asked. Well, I think.
Okay, this is a Q&A, right?
Q&A, you can see that.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I've been receiving a lot of this. Look, there's no gold mine to be hit. Yeah. I think more importantly is sell something that you're familiar with. Yeah. I believe that businesses can thrive because they sell something that they really like.
Yeah.
No point today I asked Kiman to sell Rojak, okay? Because if he doesn't like Rojak, he's not passionate about Rojak, why selling Rojak, right?
Yeah.
But say, for example, Kiman is interested in training. He really believes in training. He understands the benefit of training. So go sell training. Yeah, that's something that you can sell as a service, even on these platforms.
True.
So more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it is very important for us to stay strong in your interests. Yeah, if you want to sell something, always ask yourself, what are you knowledgeable at and what are you interested in? I love e-commerce, which is why I can talk e-commerce non-stop. So I think that's something that we all can learn from one another.
Right. So before we let you go, actually we have a few questions for this, what we call as rapid fire. So you have to respond to some of my questions very fast. No, don't have to think too much.
Oh no, am I in a trap?
But it's going to be just for us to let just to let us know you more in terms of some of your interests. Okay, are you ready? You don't have to think, like 3-second kind of thing, and then.
Welcome. You just set a trap for me.
Okay, first question: never travel again or never use smartphone again? Ding, ding, ding.
Never travel again.
Okay, e-books or printed books?
E-books.
Okay, first thing to buy with 1,000 ringgit worth of online shopping voucher. First thing that you buy if you get
sous vide.
What?
Sous vide machine.
Wow.
A sous vide machine.
Wow. Okay. Would you rather have 1 million followers or $1 million?
1 million followers.
Oh, okay. Would you travel to Mars or the moon?
Hey, but then I say never travel again. What?
Yeah, this one is Mars.
Oh, okay. So
this one is
should I travel to Mars or travel to the
moon?
Of course, Mars lah.
Okay.
Mars is inhabitable.
Okay. Yeah. Last question. Who inspires you? This is the last one. Last review. Who inspires you?
Very tough one. Really, very, very tough.
Can't think long because think long then you will. Come on. Think.
Wow. It's a relative. It's a relative of mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a relative but you don't want to tell us who lah.
No lah.
Okay.
Because your rapid question didn't ask, ba.
Thank you so much. I think quite interesting your responses for the rapid fire. I think that's the end of the session for today.